Yes. Wait for Eric. We're good. Good morning. We'll call this the November 7th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First up we have is the approval of minutes from October 17th.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve those minutes as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Oppose? That passes. Accounts payable.
Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the claims from October 25th, 2022 to November 7th, 2022 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve accounts payable. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Payroll.
Mr. President, I would also like to recommend the payroll dated October 28th, 2022 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Highway. Stewart.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. First items, we have 3 pieces of right-of-way for the Concord Road Eppingham Roundabout project. The first is a parcel number 3, Robert and Marilyn Glenn, warranty deed, total value of land improvements and damages of $40,000 even.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve that warranty deed for right-of-way purchase of parcel 3 in the amount of $40,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this parcel amount warranty deed is stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Parcel 5.
Parcel 5 is Majestic Properties, also a warranty deed in the amount of $266,310.
Mr. President, I move for approval of the warranty deed with Majestic Properties.
Second.
Motion and second to approve this warranty deed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
The last document on the Eppingham Roundabout is a special agreement. This is basically Kenneth Hall property. It's an additional $2,500 for some fence that was missed in the original purchase.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve this special agreement for the relocation of fence for parcel 6.
Second.
Motion and second to approve this special agreement. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay. The last item on our agenda is a motor grader lease renewal agreement. We have 4 motor graders. We are able to purchase 2 motor graders at the end of this year, which means then we'll need to extend the lease on the remaining 2 motor graders for another year, and then purchase them out at the end of that additional year. The increase, the lease for the additional year is $54,585.61 each. The purchase option at the end of the additional year will be $151,601 each.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the Deere Credit Grader lease agreement as submitted.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the extension of the lease. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much.
Contract. Facts on.
Sheriff. Looks like the sheriff's coming up.
I was trying to get up here. I took a left on Pearl instead of right that time. This, what you're looking at is a 5-year contract with Axon. Ours is expiring at the end of this year. This locks us in at 2022 pricing. instead of doing 2023, so we get a year early. It saves us some money.
It looks like the 5-year payment on that is $158,920 a year. That's for the vehicles, and then $174,796 for this year, followed up by 4 more payments of $251,903. And that covers everything, your cars and your
Yes.
body worn?
Cars and body worn.
With that, Mr. President, I would move that we approve the contract with Axon Enterprises.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this contract as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is a contract with Tecton Construction. This is out for the morgue where we are redoing the ventilation system. Currently, the old jail has one ventilation system, and unfortunately, if you have a visitor that might smell bad out there because of drowning or such, this will change that entire vent system to where they'll be on their own cell. Plus, we'll be adding one cooler and redoing the autopsy room. So this contracts with Tecton. It's basically 10% of the gross of the project, and we do have it budgeted.
Mr. President, I would move for approval with contract with Tecton Construction Management to manage the morgue renovation project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. We have an ordinance.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We hear ordinance 2022-22-CM.
Second.
Petitioner.
Thank you. David Hiddle with the Area Plan Commission. We have one item in front of you today. It is rezoning. This is 8.5 acres to rezone from A to R2. A is agricultural, R2 is single and single and family and duplex development. The proposal is not to do anything new here, but rather to legally establish a roughly 50-year-old set of buildings, about a dozen, that are all duplexes, in order to provide for the subdivision and then the improvement of the structures. This was heard by and recommended for approval unanimously by the Plan Commission at their last meeting with no remonstrance. Staff is supporting it and would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Is there any representative of the petitioners here?
Yes, good morning. Chris Shulman of Gutwein Law, 250 Main Street. We appreciate the staff and agree with the report. We'd be happy to answer any questions about the requested rezone.
Is this by chance the old Remley property?
It is.
Okay.
And the petitioner has been updating those and making them nicer.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor or against this rezone? Not seeing anyone. Bob?
Byers?
Yes?
Brown?
Yes.
Murtaugh?
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-22-CM passes 3-0.
Thank you. Health Department. Amy?
Good morning. You have before you a contract with Athena Health. We would like to switch our billing for our medical clinic. Current billing has not updated our prices in the last year when we sent them over. Athena would charge a flat fee in the beginning to get us up and running, no charges while we're implementing though, until we go live, and then that flat fee will go towards our credit. And then they only charge a percentage of what actually hits our account from the insurance companies. So it's a much better deal. Actually, the clinic downstairs uses it, and we just found out one of our board members just switched his clinic over to it as well. Allen County's used it for 8 years, and Mindy only has praises.
And how many year contract is that?
And we can terminate it anytime. I think it's 30 days that we have to give them.
Okay, so it's just an ongoing contract?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We approve the contract with Athena Health for the Health Department.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the Athena contractor presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes.
Thank
Now
you.
the new position.
New position, we have a part-time in our DIS that we want to move to full-time. We have supplemental funding to cover it through December, and then after that, we've written her into the grant. So We have level 2 now in place, and so this would cover our second level 1 that we need.
And the grant funding covers both the position and benefits?
Yes. Correct, Amanda?
Okay.
Position and benefits? It covers both position and benefits, correct?
Salary and
Yes.
benefits, okay.
And the understanding, if the grant disappears, the positions disappear, correct?
Of course.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the new position as outlined.
Second?
Got a motion and a second to approve this new position. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rebecca?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm asking your permission to sign the memorandum of agreements for the 3 local school corporations for our attendance intervention services. And that's with West Lafayette Community School Corporation, Tippecanoe School Corporation, and Lafayette School Corporation. And that's for this current academic year. We're a little late. School was busy. It took a while to get their signed copies back.
Not West Side. They got to me early.
They did.
Kept waiting
They did.
and
We kept
waiting.
waiting for the other 2 to do it all in a lump. That's right.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve the memorandum of agreement with the local school corporations as outlined.
Second.
Motion and second to approve these MOUs?
MOAs.
MOAs. As presented, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you. And then I have 3 things that are grant-related. I could take those off of Sharon's plate, and I can do those now, or I can wait.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, perfect. I'd like to have permission to apply for 2 grants. One is our JDI 2024 fiscal grant, and that is for $70,000. The other is our Juvenile Community Corrections grant, which is $271,637. It's also fiscal year 2024, and those are both due in November to start July 1st, 2023.
So those are permission to apply?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I have 2 permission to apply, and then I have 1 permission to accept that's coming.
Okay. And are these are not on the sheet? No. Okay. Okay. So, okay. I will make a motion, we grant permission to apply for the JDAI grant in the amount of $70,000.
Second?
Well, motion and second to grant permission to apply as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And I'll make a motion that we grant permission to apply for the DOC grant for juvenile,
Community corrections.
for community corrections in the amount of $271,637.
Second?
Motion and second to grant permission to apply as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much. And then I have a permission to accept. We were notified today, thank you, Bob, very, very much. We applied for an additional $10,000 through our Juvenile Community Corrections through what's called a discretionary grant. That was approved. That's for fiscal year '23, so that'll end June 30th, 2023, and that's in the amount of $10,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, grant permission to accept as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Sharon, more grants.
Thank you, Rebecca. Morning. I'd like to ask permission for the Circuit Court to apply for our Indiana Supreme Court grant of $75,000 for the Administrative Adult Guardianship Office volunteer advocates for seniors or incapacitated adults. This is a supplemental funding that we are passed through to Wabash Center Guardianship Services, and the MOU with Judge Person and the Circuit Court will be signed later.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to apply as stated.
Second?
Motion and second, to grant permission to apply for circuit court. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Another one for the courts, Superior Court 4 would like to apply for the court reform grant with the Indiana Supreme Court to update the security cameras inside and outside of the courthouse square. The quote for this project at this moment is $70,000, and there will be an in-kind match from the county budget that's already approved.
And it is Superior Court 4 or
5.
5?
Kristen McVeigh.
That's 5. Okay.
Okay. Mr. President, I move for us granting permission to apply for the $70,000 grant as outlined.
I will second that, but I do have a quick question. So in other words, the money that we budgeted for this will,
Could be used as a match. We're not sure what the price is going to be for the match. Plus also Tony's maintenance and some of Do-It that we already have in place. The server provider and storage space like that can be used as our match.
so what is the total project estimated cost?
We don't have it definitely yet. Right now, the cameras themselves would be around $70,000, but then we have the installation and the service area for that, for the cameras.
Okay.
You have a motion?
Did you second it?
I did.
Yeah, he seconded
I
it,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second to grant permission to apply for Superior Court 5 on the security cameras. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes.
The Health Department has two different grants. I'm sure you'll want to separate these. The first grant from the Indiana State Board of Health is for the 2023 SCD regular grant. I don't have the specific dollar amount on that. And then the second one is an SCD supplemental on that. Those are continuation grants that we have.
Mr. President, I would move that we grant permission to apply for the 2023 STD supplement and the regular grant as outlined.
A second.
Motion second, grant permission to apply as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
The Health Department would also like to apply for the Health Foundation of Greater Indianapolis in the amount of $13,000 to cover supplies that are needed for the Gateway to Hope program.
Mr. President, I would move that we grant permission to apply for the grant as outlined.
Second.
Motion second, grant permission to apply as stated for the Health Department. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes.
The Sheriff's Office would like to request to apply for a $25,000 grant from the 2023 Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Grant Program to cover Safer Watch program.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to apply as stated.
Second.
Motion second, to grant permission to apply for the Sheriff's Department. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
And the CASA has the opportunity to apply for Avoca supplemental funding for the 2022-23 application. It was an amount that was originally omitted from the first application, and so $43,633 would be the supplemental application.
Mr. President, I would move that we grant permission to apply for the VOCA grant as outlined.
Second.
Motion second, grant permission to apply for CASA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
And TEMA was awarded two grants. The EMPG salary grant award letter came with $69,827 to cover a small portion of their salaries for 2022. That will go back into the general budget. And the match was the benefits and the remaining amount of their salaries.
And this is less than last
Yes.
year.
We're 200 people away from the $75,000 we should get.
Mr. President, I'd move for granting permission to accept the grant as outlined.
Second.
Motion second, motion to grant to accept as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes.
And the last grant we received was the EMPG Competitive Award. It was a $20,000 grant with no match from the county, and that is to update our turnout gear for our hazmat teams.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to accept as stated.
Second.
Motion second, grant permission to accept as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any unfinished or new business anyone feels needs to become before? Okay, reports on file, we have from the Building Commission, Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission, and those be over in the Commissioner's office for public viewing. Public comment. Colleen, would you like to speak a little bit, please?
Yes, good morning. I wanted to share some information about an upcoming event that we will be holding here in Tippecanoe County. It's part of the National Adoption Day event. National Adoption Day is a collective effort to raise awareness about over 115,000 children that are in foster care across the United States. And here in Tippecanoe County, we are going to be having an event on Friday, November 18th. The National Adoption Day itself is Saturday, the 19th, but we are having our event on the 18th. And we're really excited and proud that we're going to be able to have presiding court hearings for at least, right now, we hope up to 10 to 15 children, depending if all the paperwork gets in time. But our event will take place starting with a proclamation at 8:45 in the morning, and I believe Commissioner Byers will be part of our proclamation. And then we will go on to the presiding court hearings. We'll start around 9 o'clock. This is a collaboration between Judge Person and Circuit Court, Judge Graham and Juvenile Court, the Department of Child Services, our CASA program, and an organization called Firefly that is helping providing gifts and so forth for children. Judge Graham will be presiding over our event this year, and so we're really excited, and we'd like to invite you to come over for the proclamation. We'll have some festivities for the families and the children, so it's going to be a great celebration for our kiddos. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. It's great to hear that many kids.
Morning.
Morning.
It's hard to follow that. I should have went first. Congratulations, Colleen. I'd like to introduce Camille Ash. She's our new PC technician replacing Brandon Vale. I'll let her tell her about herself.
I can tell she wasn't expecting that.
Not at all. Hi, how
Hello.
are you? Yeah, I don't have anything to say about myself.
She comes to us from the remote consulting world. During the interviews, she sounded very excited to actually get back to dealing with real people as opposed to
Yeah.
the virtual meetings. So
Real
real people,
people.
I'm sure we can find here.
Yeah.
Real people, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome aboard. Congratulations. Welcome. Anyone else for public comment? If you haven't voted, you can get in line. So,
Motion to adjourn.
meeting adjourned.
Okay, multiple